Alright, we are back on the books only account. Today's gonna be a really short one because I just want to get this one out on New Year's Eve, and then we'll get back to longer content. And also, the boss, or one of the bosses I fought today, took me I think like 3 hours to beat or something like that. Like I had a lot of attempts and a lot of time just farming for slightly better gear because I just couldn't beat it. But yeah, that's why this video is so short. But anyway though, sit back, relax, grab a snack, and enjoy the show. The first thing I did was look for the sunken sea because I wanted to fight the clam in order to get the Poseidon, which was my next weapon. After finding the sunken sea, I also found this nice little astral ice biome type place, which I used to get some essence of Ellium, which I would need for my next weapon. And then I did my first attempt at the giant clam, and here's kind of how it went. The first thing I did was hit it with these cursed skulls. I just kind of thought that would be the best way to hit it. I knew that the attacks just would rain down from the sky, but I didn't know anything about the boss other than that. So when he jumped on me this first time, I was kind of confused, but I still dodged it. And I started to get the hang of what was going on, but I was kind of in a bad spot, and even though I was using regular armor for this and not big tat armor, like I was still taking a decent bit of damage from his hits, and I just died pretty much right away. I then went to craft my next weapon, the flare bolt, which I needed to craft my newest weapon, the Frigidash bolt. But first I need to get some essence, and to get these essence called the Essence of Havoc, I had to go to this place right here. I still don't know what this biome's called. It's like the brimstone, I think. Brim something. I don't remember. But I did get my essences of Havoc here, and I actually had enough to craft the Frigidash bolt. So that's what I did, and here's how it works. I then went to the desert to craft the Frigidash bolt, which was huge for my arsenal, as it did a lot of damage in the small ball hits that the frostbolt and flarebolt had, except it was inflicting frost burn and sometimes regular burn on the enemies, which was huge damage wise. The next thing I did was try to build a little space for the clam, and then fought it. I didn't really record myself building a little more space, but I do have more space here than last time. Even if it's not much, I just wanted to see if that would help with the bouncing of the Frigidash bolt and all. And honestly, it didn't go too bad. We were doing some decent damage, getting him pretty low, honestly. But I was still pretty unable to move. I had limited mobility, limited range. It was kind of a bad area to fight the boss, and I ended up dying. I then decided I should probably upgrade my armor and went for palladium just because I knew the extra life regen would be helpful for the way I play the game. I then crafted full palladium armor to replace it with my slime god statogel armor. I then quickly killed the Frost Legion. I didn't even get anything good from this. I just killed it just because I had the summon for it. And yeah, that's it for the Frost Legion. I then got the ingredients for the cryo key and crafted it. And then I went to the tundra to attempt my first fight with cryogen. And here's how it went. I decided to use my Frigidash bolt to break his shield. I didn't know how this boss fight worked either because this is my first time ever fighting him since I've never been this far in Calamity. So I used my Frigidash bolt to break his ice shield and just kind of kept shooting it with him. I cycled to the Eldritch Tome sometimes, but it wasn't really that good of a weapon to use against him. But yeah, no, for this first fight I was just kind of trying to figure out what he does because I again just had no clue what was going on. I figured out the ice crystals actually burst and split into 6 little projectiles, which is pretty easy to dodge. And I figured that the hard part about this boss wasn't going to be dodging its attacks or it dealt a ton of damage. It's just that it has so much health, and that would be the main problem for all the attempts I had of cryogen. The next thing I did was try to fight the giant clam again now that I had the Frigidash bolt, and also this new book which I found called the Serpentine. It said it ignored enemy defense the same way Icor does, so I thought it might be helpful. But here's how that fight went. So first, I actually had to get him out of this little hole because he was in a wall where my Frigidaire bolt couldn't hit him. I'm actually gonna get so tired of saying that word, but yeah, my Frigidaire bolt could not pierce through the wall, so I had to break with my pickaxe, and then the fight started. I thought this would be a great time to use the serpentine, which I had just gotten, and I quickly found out that it was actually terrible. The ignored defense doesn't matter because everything has way more than 15 defense, so I mean there's not really a point, especially since it only did like 10 damage. And I also tried using the Eldritch Tome for this fight, which was definitely a mistake, as I had way better options to use for hard mode weapons. And here's how my first successful fight went. And that was another relic for the stand. And I also got the Poseidon from this boss, which I would use to kill Cryogen, and which is a huge weapon to have overall. I then tried fighting Cryogen with just the Frigidaire bolt because my Poseidon wasn't modified yet, and I just wanted to see how just the Frigidaire bolt could do. So here's how that went. Like, obviously I'm doing a decent bit of damage to him, but the projectiles are just too slow for most of the fight, which is where the Poseidon would come in. But I mean, I still don't really know how the Poseidon worked at this point, and I also hadn't modified it, so it wouldn't be very helpful anyway. But then it was time to make some more upgrades. I also found the shimmer in between this and used it to change my melee emblem into a magic emblem, which is huge damage wise. And then Skeletron Prime naturally spawned in, and I actually felt like I did pretty well this fight. And I mean, I ended up doing pretty well for my first time doing this. Like, the Poseidon kind of shredded the limbs because it could hit multiple in each like circle that I sent out, even though I could only have 3 out at a time, which I didn't even know at this point, so I was kind of messing up the cycles. But that wasn't even the main problem with this fight, because it actually went well. Like, I don't think there were honestly any problems. I just think I was too under-geared for this. Like, I maybe could have beaten him with some buffs on here, and I actually did get him pretty low. Like, around here, you see him kind of falling. And I mean, he gets to under 20k health. I break all the limbs, but you know, I just couldn't finish the job. But I mean, I wasn't planning to fight Skeleton anyway, and it was kind of a rush for preparations wise, so it wasn't too bad of a fight. So then I went to go craft the Golden Shower because I figured the Ichor debuff would be enough for me to kill these bosses. And this is what happened on my next attempt using the Golden Shower. And that's how the regular fight went. Like, I fought him a ton more times after that, and that was just the only good one that I could find, because I actually forgot to record the one where I beat him. So that's kind of just how the fight went. This is one of my bad attempts, but here's my like reaction to all the stuff I got from him. So I beat Cryogen. I don't remember the exact number of attempts, but the main thing is the loot. But I mean, I can quickly check. It took, yeah, 16 attempts and 6.5 minutes. So absolutely brutal fight. I mean, my buffs are about to run out. So I mean, it's a good thing that I got through the bite. And then I added another relic to the stand, and I also got some pretty cool stuff from the box, including the cryogen wings, which is kind of my favorite thing that I got, which would just be a better replacement for my demon wings. And that's it for today's video. Absolutely brutal fights for this one. I spent a long time fighting cryogen. Like, even though it was only 16 attempts, it was still a lot of hours. 'Cause I was farming for like little upgrades, and I had to use the frozen barrier over a sorcerer's emblem and a ton of different stuff. But yeah, that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next year. Peace.